Once, life in the American 1930s was tranquil, and food was abundant. But the early 1930s proved to be a time of hardship for many farmers in the American Midwest. To add on to the effects of the Great Depression, which made consumer prices drop steeply for food and goods, agricultural workers were devastated by a terrible natural disaster. It destroyed crops, damaged homes. This caused residents to flee to a better place. California was one of them. This was the ravaging storm known as the Dust Bowl, caused by 1930s farmers plowing their land and loosening the top layer of soil to a light dust. When settlers first arrived, they thought the Great Plains would be useless for farming because of its lack of trees. Farmers overcultivated the land and failed to protect the soil from erosion. Also, because of the overplowing, grass that had kept the soil in place had been destroyed. A massive drought in the early 30s made the soil turn to dust and allowed for easier airborne transportation. Wind billowed strongly during this time, called the Dirty 30s.
I just had to stop. But the whole sky in the west, as far as just a black cloud, that's the way it looked. But it was all dirt. And that's all we got out of it. We got all dirt. Dave Fraser had his truck sitting out in front of the store there, and it didn't blew that about 30, 40 feet. Just right down the street.
The effects of the Dust Bowl were felt as far as Washington, D.C. The states mostly affected by the Dust Bowl were Oklahoma, Colorado, Texas, New Mexico, and Kansas. Because of the massive effects of the Dust Bowl, many farmers found themselves to be ruined and sought a new life in California. In this time period, about 2.5 million people migrated out of the plains. Migrants from Oklahoma were named Okies and were sometimes discriminated in California.